All right. Well, we'll be jumping into the pistol already here. It looks to be a quick play for Fate. They've been spotted at short. They're kind of just hanging around this water position right now. And Vitality are in a nice setup to try to counter this. They have a few players on the bomb side already. Zaiwu will be playing up close and personal with the CZ. That's an interesting look for him. Masuta will be playing on the ramp, and it looks like it doesn't even matter as RPK is able to find the first 2 frags, leaving just Harn in the 1v5. He's able to take down 1, now makes his way up connector, and he has to fall all the way back. The bomb is quite far from him at this point, and the Vitality players are closing in. I'm not sure if he's going to expect Zaiwu up close to the right. Does not look like that'll be the case. Vitality with a pretty clean pistol to start things off.
Oh, also, I think you just reminded me, I don't know why, I think the game reminded me I saw Zaiwu, and I just, one thing that I remember about his playstyle that I failed to mention is that even though he's such a presence and is capable of so many flashy things, he doesn't do flashy stuff unless it's necessary, and that's also amazing because it means that he's not just super talented from a raw skill perspective, but he actually is always trying to find a way to play from advantage, which is the correct mentality, and it's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that you can just outskill people with an AWP.
Yeah, that's when watching him back when he was on that AAA team. To go back to that.
Whoa!
Wow. Okay.
I'm not even looking at him.
Reasonable.
That trick, somehow finding shocks there. It just feels like Zaiwu has always kind of played the numbers game throughout his whole career, that he just makes the sound decision a lot of the time. And self-preservation is really key to him. He knows how valuable his life is at every point in the round.
Protect the king.
Yes. Even if the king is yourself.
Exactly.
It also helps if you're an AWPer and likes to save the AWPs. You know, if you're in a losing position, he knows when to just save the gun, just fall back, make them chase you, get the easy kills.
It worked for James
It
for a while.
For a bit.
He's disappeared. My goodness. What happened?
That team.
What happened to that team? Masuta is going to be able to finish them off on the bomb side with the help of Zaiwu and RPK. And speaking of oldies, RPK, he's like 30.
He's like 31, I think.
31?
I think 31.
31, I think you're right, yeah.
I read it somewhere the other day that he was 31.
He looks older than us, though, I think. We're both older than him.
He's 30.
He's gray hair.
30.
He's 30.
What?
Just looked up.
How did you know?
30 flat.
What did you look at?
Wikipedia.
Is it right?
Yeah, I think so. his birthday is
maybe
in
he
August.
maybe he edited it, just took a year
just
off.
Took a year off.
Yeah, he's definitely, when you see him in person, he's pretty. He looks old. Yeah, I mean, not like a bad way, but he looks like he's.
It's probably
established.
He looks mature.
He's established. He looks
Yeah.
mature. That's a good way to put it. When I see him, and it's like, oh, that guy's only a few years older than me.
Hey man,
wow.
if you've been playing in the French Counter-Strike scene for a while, you know it's gonna look like a few years have been taken from you.
Yeah.
Well, Fate will start off with a opening kill onto Shox again. Unfortunately for Shox, because he's not going to be starting off with a good economy, but perhaps his teammates can rectify the situation, so we'll be able to deal with Patrick, and that just leaves the rest of Patrick's team all towards bathrooms at the moment. And Zoe's going to close the distance. Only on the CZ at this point, definitely saving up for that AWP for the next round, which is very sensible, especially if your teammates are holding on to SMGs. You really need that AWP on a map like Overpass. Rocking the Tigress skin.
He doesn't have many bullets left.
Looking to get feisty. Doesn't need them.
Nah, I was gonna say.
Oh.
I don't know if you need to give him more than 7 at this point. Okay,
All right,
that's all
exactly
I need.
7. Exactly 7.
All right. Right on cue. I was one of those few players you can say, all right, he'll hit the op shot now, and he does it so consistently. Yeah, he just he doesn't let you down.
I mean, he's good and lucky. It's great to have both.
He's really lucky consistently.
Yeah. It's just like, it's great to have that. And sometimes people have it in spurts, but for Zaiwu, it's been about a year, and he's been like that, so.
He's harnessed the luck.
Well, Han has the AWP, and he'll be contesting Zaiwu perhaps. Shox, once again, is being more of a forwards player towards the playgrounds in recent rounds, at least, but he will be playing fairly passively. Gets that early information, at least. You know, you can have that little jiggle to get some sound cues, maybe spot them coming up the T-ramp. And this is, interestingly, Fate are not running anything that could possibly resemble a default here. They've invested everybody towards A long almost immediately here. And this is quite gambly, but this is very unusual to see this at the top level. So, in your first gun round, and with a slow pace on top of that. And there's the jiggling, and the chance is gone. Han had to hit it on the first jiggle. Team Vitality will not be offering up any early picks here. And there is a smoke on Divider at around the 1 minute mark. So Vitality are slowing this down appropriately to maintain advantage, but we'll see if Fate have some kind of a counterplay in store.
Yeah, Shock's here at Divider, playing right around that smoke on that bench. It's a nice angle, but will Mar get the better of him? He knows that there's a couple players here. There are quite a few sound or audible clues. Another scope as well, and Shox finds his timing there, is able to take down Harn. Mar is trying to chase him down, but Shox somehow finding another one. It's Nikki who will eventually take him down, and that just leaves Patrick in the 1v3. He's at map right now. The bomb is at front bathrooms, and there's really no chance for him here. Not enough time. He may be able to find a single kill, but he also runs the risk here of dying after time, and I think RPK might want to hand him that death. But Patrick does find that kill there, and will be able to maintain his life. Oh! Pre-fire on an Apex does extend his life.
I'm going to say great job on Team Vitality for pop flash for your teammates. They've been doing it all game in these 4 rounds, and you can see there it pays off handsomely. You have a person in the A-bomb site flashing for Shox that was pushed up by Connector, enabling him to get almost 2-3 kills right there.
And one thing that's worth mentioning is the decision to go aggressive there at that timing as opposed to sitting back, because they could sit back and just be like, oh, we'll just defend the push that's coming. But they wanted to try to... There's a chance that they actually catch Fade off on an anti-timing where they're actually pulling out nades there, because they know that there's a small window where Fate actually had to start attacking. So the flash comes in, lets them take the initiative, and also gives them a possibility to disengage if it doesn't go quite as they like. So they're able to... That's one of the reasons why they do it like that, as opposed to just waiting and just relying on counter utility.
Yeah, and the key point of that is they tossed it when the smokes were about to be faded. So, because that's when the T's might swing, or that's when they want to make their move. And Shox was not in a best spot, but with his teammates' utility, made the best out of it.
One quick thing to note as we see Fate operating around the bathrooms and taking control there is that so far we haven't seen Fate put any emphasis around sewers, water control. Nice double from Shox, really good angle. And he's found the bomb too, so this might just be the round because Shox has just killed the entire team pretty much. So this is not working out for Fate so far.
Yeah. Shox on for the ace. We'll see if he's able to find it. With just 1 HP though, I feel as if he would rather try to preserve his life, keep that money good into the upcoming rounds. And as you were mentioning, yeah, most of these hits for Fate have been centered around A. When I've seen them prior to this, most of their success, a vast majority, has been actually at the B site. Okay. Their variety of executes, the way that they take water control, and how they're able to posture off of that. And so we'll see a timeout come out. I feel like this has to be on the Fate side.
And I don't think it's too terrible. I mean, even though they're down 5-0 and it looks pretty one-sided for Team Vitality. But what Fate is kind of doing over here is that they're trying to be able to out-angle Team Vitality by having multiple people in that area. But Team Vitality is doing such a good job of counter flashing at the perfect times that it's just making Fate just useless in a way, because those flashes are hitting 2-3 people. And it sounds a little ridiculous to... You have to play anti-flash on T side right before you hit a choke point. It sounds really difficult to do at this high level, but it's almost like what you have to do against how Team Vitality is playing if you want to play that slow.
I was just about to wonder if we would start to see more aggression from Vitality towards Fountain. And not necessarily like direct aggression, but at least with one or a double incendiary. We only see one. and then there's the instant smoke. And that's information. It can just be one player smoking it, but given the tendencies from Fate so far, Team Vitality can definitely be on their guard towards the bathrooms. But at the early timing of the round, Team Vitality also have a 3-man setup on B. And because it does take time for Fate to work around A, it's actually quite safe to have 3 on B for quite some time, given that Fate generally are playing a slow pace. So that way, you can be pretty confident that you're going to be safe against fast B plays or any set pieces that may come in. And you always will have time to rotate. And ZywOo, he's going to have time to get a pick there as well. Feels like Fate's pacing is not doing them favors right now.
No, not at all. I mean, they're just getting picked apart. And so they have to maybe, as you said, maybe a little more explosive, or maybe try to throw some pump fakes where they bait this utility.
RPK playing around barrel. He's able to find one. There's a great counter smoke to allow him to stay alive here. And it looks like it'll be mostly his teammates that are able to help him out, but as Patrick tries to jump in through the smoke, RPK with a nice counter flash there is able to put him in his place right in the ground.
Yeah, slow doesn't work if you can't hit shots either. It's just like a big snowball effect against Fate. Not only are they getting out utilitied, but also, you know, you walk up, ZywOo up, ZywOo up.
Yeah, their pressure at the moment hasn't really impacted Vitality. Vitality always seem to have either enough time to deal with it, or the pressure itself has not really been all that meaningful in general. So we'll see if that's something that does change. We see, you know, the default coming out here. It is a pistol buy for Fate though, and they'll be sneaking around blocker looking for some kind of a deagle shot. But that's a great pop flash for info there for RPK. And I also really like how they leave the monster tunnel open from us. They don't smoke it. There's no need to smoke it at this point in the rounds, and especially when a pop flash can do to get you a lot of info, and then you can have safe jiggles later on.
We got 007 in the server. James Bond.
Yeah, blocker not having the best game just yet, along with the rest of his team. Looks like they'll be going for a contact play up short right now. Will this be spotted out is the question. Another great flash right in their faces, but it seems to be going their way, actually. Masuta still holds the line at pit, although he is taken down, and this is the best look that Fate has had thus far, but it's a ZywOo 1v2. If there were any man to bail Vitality out of the situation, this is the one you would have to pick. A good Molotov right behind Harn, but Harn somehow finds the deagle headshot regardless, and Fate are able to get themselves on the board.
Wow. That's a nasty shot. Very well played by Fate. They pick up a lot of awkward kills, I guess, on Vitality, just hitting them with some offbeat timings that seem to work out quite well. So, question is, you know, obviously we haven't seen any consistency, anything that is replicable in their gun rounds, and they're in a gun round now. So, you know, we've seen a lot of slow defaults, and we saw that one round where they just put everyone towards long. Once again, they've smoked. They are forced to expend a smoke early on in playgrounds. And they're looking for that short B control. It's a good nade indeed towards that short B tunnel. And we'll have to see if Vitality are interested in being aggressive at all. So far, they're just sort of letting Fate play slow and hang themselves effectively in that sense.
Yeah, Team Vitality really knows the angles and really abusing to their power. I mean, this Team Vitality love this map. They love it. They're so good at it.
Oh, wow. Well-timed aggression from Masuta is able to get yet another man advantage for Vitality here. And Fate, they have great position towards water right now. Could opt for some kind of play, and they might just have to. Their hand may be forced. They're quickly losing control of this round. Apex with a nice counter Molotov to stop any sort of play from Fate. But Fate, they want a little bit more information before they begin their full-on approach. And Harn is collecting that information by his lonesome towards A. Shox may find him on the flank, though, here, and I think he will find the timing. Shox wants a little bit more, and he baits Fate into a false sense of security as they run up connector without clearing his angle out. And now playing off the angle beautifully, Shox setting himself up for yet another kill. And, ooh, a nice entry onto the bomb site. Harn is able to find one, but it's not going to be enough. Fate.
At what cost?
Yeah, it's a nice shot, but it's all they got in that round.
It was really cool here because what we did see on screen was so first of all we see Masuta going for that. He was just holding that angle where he was able to punish a player throwing a nade. And then we see RPK a little bit later on, after they anticipated a B aggression, RPK goes and does a jiggle as well. He actually sees that water's like fairly clear, which triggered Shocks. He was in already a position waiting at long to then actually start pushing to get info. And then that small info play, that kind of refresh of info by RPK, which triggered that push, that's then put Shocks in a position to win the round. So those are very small things, but it can win the round sometimes. So great to see that a round can be round is won in that fashion. It's just I don't know. It's those small things that I really appreciate sometimes.
Yeah, the way that they are able to connect on a macro level is it's really cool to see, and it shows that Vitality, when they're playing against a team such as Fate, they can just read them so well with the littlest of tells.
And back on the pistols again, at least for Fate, they have had a recent success with pistols. It's a good nade again. That's that previous round, I think, that also connected.
Yeah.
With some great damage. Good timing. Need to copy the timing for that one. And there you go. Hoping for the best. Apex starts things off pretty well. Masuta gets one as well, so... Ooh, okay, now we're starting to have some trouble here once again. So we all connect an AWP shot though. That does make things a lot easier. The bomb is yet to be planted. There we go. Shocks is having a great game so far. That's good to see. I also am enjoying the role that he's playing towards A actually. So 8-1 is the score.
And trying to think of what Fate can do. I mean, it's very hard. They keep going through these slow defaults, but I always say, I mean, if you're going to do slow defaults, you gotta also pick. You have to get the picks in order for these defaults to work. Right now, Team Vitality is playing so condensed, so teamwork oriented. It's hard to get these individual picks and try to open up the bomb site. So they're just going for a B rush right here.
Yeah, out the monster tunnel quickly, but the smokes are at their feet, and Masuta is able to capitalize. A 3K for him, looking for more. He's not able to find the kill. It will be RPK, but only left is Blocker, and he has to do it all, but RPK will find his second on the round, and Vitality just shutting down Fate, who they try to change of pace there. It just doesn't work out. The counter utility is too good. Masuta has 17 kills in this game already.
And good point on your counter utility. As you see right here, Vitality has some nice smokes, but there's not enough flashbangs coming from Fate. I would, because it's not hitting these people in the back. They toss a couple smokes. They toss a flash at the start of the rush, but like nothing else is coming after this. It's just like they're just turning a corner and just hitting these easy kills. Oh.
So confident.
Yeah.
He knows that only one can be there as well because he was covering the steps, and here comes the push towards B again. They're just going to try to run it in this time.
There's that second flash.
No, this was Suta's flash, I think, that blinded him, though.
Oh,
yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah, it came from behind him, and it landed in his face. That's unfortunate timing for Vitality there. And in a moment where we wanted to praise Fate,
it was even them that did it.
Yeah, unfortunate for Vitality's sake. Shocks, though, will get the better of Blocker on the edge of that smoke. And Fate, they had a great chance to try to win this round. Will they be able to close it out? Shocks now is able to find that final kill.
Dude,
quickly
Shocks
brought back.
It's looking crispy right now. He's looking like the old Shocks, which is
It's comfortable.
it's making me feel happy inside. And the thing that I've noticed, at least, I don't know if you guys feel the same way, it really feels like Vitality are just taking the bare minimum approach, the bare ass minimum, in terms of we're not going to do anything. We don't need to do anything crazy. We're going to throw that incendiary towards a T ramp at the beginning of every round to force them to use the smoke. That also allows us to play 3 on B for like quite a while. So we get to play like the safest setup where we don't have to take any risks. We don't need to take risks against you guys.
you kind of think that at this, at the high level game of CS, there's like levels of tiers. Like, okay, we're gonna play this way. Then when they do this, we do this, we do this. Fate can't even get past that first step. It seems like, like pushing them back or at least getting a pick. And it just, it looks really easy for Vitality because they just have that. They can't get past that first step. Can't break that rock defense of Vitality.
And once again, Shox is doing great work there towards a long. They will try to find their way to the A bomb site, but this is just very problematic. They can't do anything about this. Oh, another lucky connection, doesn't matter. 11-1, and again, it's just another great round from Vitality. They're not doing anything special whatsoever. They're hitting the shots that they're supposed to hit.
I think they're pop flashing special. Let's just say that special for them, right?
Yeah.
Because they're really on point with their peaks and pop flashing, and it's really apparent. Like you could really see it.
Yeah.
But everything else is like, it seems like pretty basic. Just sitting back,
Mm-hmm.
having a good time.
One thing you guys have both noted about how passive Vitality is playing, the game that stood out to me the most when Fate impressed me on this map is they played against Hard Legion, which is a top 30 team on this map, and they beat them 16-6. And when they did so, it felt like it was all because Hard Legion were too complacent in sitting on the bomb site, just playing this passive style, pretty similar to how Vitality was. But they just didn't have that extra step of counter utility when Fate was actually onto the bomb sites, how to smoke off barrel or to pop flash for their teammates at times. And Vitality are, they're keeping it very simple, all things considered. But
Maybe not that simple as we say it is.
it's just they have a little bit extra depth when things actually get hairy on the bomb sites, which can't go undervalued. But actually, Fate might just steal this one here. They have made their way onto the bomb site in a 3v2. Harn with a great angle to take down Apex, and that leaves RPK in a 1v3 situation. He still has good utility that may actually be able to dislodge Hard from his position. It will, actually. So he's able to find one easy kill. Looking for more. Almost had a chance, but he will be put down.
And actually, Zywoo is missing quite a lot of shots that you wouldn't expect him normally to miss. And that's helping Fate out, for sure. But that said, I think Shox is playing pretty well right now towards the bathroom, so it does mitigate that slightly.
Yeah, a lot of changing up from Vitality, just little different angles here and there. Just keeping Fate on their toes. As you said, a couple missed shots. Fate took advantage of it, just showing that they can hang.
Yeah. Well, there was that whiff from Zywoo right at the beginning, at the round towards the Fountain Peak, and then later on as well. So there felt like there was quite a few chances that Vitality had to actually really crush that push. But regardless of that, Fate still only have 2 rounds, and the quality of Vitality is as a team, as individuals, is apparent. And it just looks difficult for Fate. Like the thing is, Vitality are giving them some space to work with, but it's getting onto the site and getting the bomb down that seems near impossible. And this is gonna be a tough one. Just a raw swing against Zywoo, like no flash, nothing.
Yeah.
There's no distraction anywhere else on the map.
Good luck.
Yeah, that's not what you want to see.
Can't even do that against any offer. Let alone Zywoo.
Oh. Zywoo? Oh, gets caught off guard by Blocker at the end, but still a 12-2 start for Vitality, and not the approaches I expected from Fate.
Yeah, you kind of mentioned more B play.
Yeah, that was another thing that's impressed me when I've seen them in other games I've viewed. They really had a variety of execs once they got water control. It feels like in this game, they might be trying to play to their opponents a little bit more, where they feel like they have to do this passive default, and it's adding an extra step that I don't know if Fate have really flushed out here. So.
Yeah, that could be right, that they're trying to strat too much, maybe.
Yeah, they probably knew that Vitality do get aggressive in the mid-round, but they didn't really find the exact answer or counter for that, to what the exact angles and timings were for these pushes. I mean, Shox has been pushing nearly every round and just finding himself in some of the best positions you would hope to see for a CT side player, and it will net him yet another kill. He's been relentless all half. He has 17 kills now, and looking to find more, but he'll back off. Yeah, there's still a minute left to go in this round, and it feels like Vitality has already taken everything away from Fate.
Yeah, this is one of those awesome examples of Shox did a push, he got a kill, he gained a lot of ground. At this point, he doesn't have to keep pushing. He doesn't even have to do anything, because at this point, the other team don't have good options, and they have to make a move. So they have to pick an option that's actually probably bad for themselves, and let them do that. Don't give them an option to get a duel and get back into the round that way. And you can see here it's looking pretty good. All the information's known. Nade won't connect as intended, but Shox is swinging around the back. All right, won't seem to matter. So very dominant scoreline at the end of the first half. 13-2 in favor of Vitality. We'll have to see if there's any better looks coming in on the next half from Fate. Guess who's back?
Shox is back.
I'm not going to rap because I just don't got the chops.
If only nothing were here.
One of Shox's like more iconic plays was on this map with in the pistol round. Although I think he was on the CT side, and it was towards Fountain, but still.
You know, it's Overpass.
All right, there we go. Shox is kicking it off with a headshot. Headshot.
Headshot, mate.
That's true.
I
I didn't know that's where that was going. All right. Well, 4-on-4 post plant. Fate need this round. And they're making a little bit of a case for themselves here. 2-on-2 now. Zywoo jumping out of heaven. Masuta is there to support from the bridge position. Mar in the 1v2. Two of the standout performers from Vitality are here to face him. Masuta and Zywoo double swing. And he's unable to connect with anything at that point. And it looks like Vitality just might make quick work on Fate's map pick. Youch.
Those double swings where the elevation is completely different for both players, but they're lined up.
Yeah.
That's so impossible. It's like so impossibly hard.
He technically can isolate the angle if he backs up on the ramp, but like that's just the most unnatural.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And he has to know that they're both there.
Yeah. I mean, as soon as he sees, he has to like back up while trying to shoot, and then you're moving in a straight line actually away, which is always one of the easier things for people to adjust their crosshair on as well.
So what he should have done is swing left.
He should just kill them faster.
There you go.
He should just aim much better.
That shot in the first bullet usually works.
That can always alleviate some pressure.
Vitality 2 rounds away from winning this one, my god. And Fates are in a lot of trouble here. They can't really do too much about this run. In fact, in this spot, you probably... It's so hard, actually. It's like you almost should just go for it, regardless of like the situation, almost. Because they're going to be force buying in every round regardless, and Vitality will be on map point afterwards. So...
Yeah,
it doesn't even make sense to save, I think, but ultimately I doubt they would have won the round anyways.
I think from a player's perspective, you just want to preserve your KD a little bit. In all honesty, you're just like,
yeah.
Hey, I didn't do that badly against Vitality. Look,
only minus 15. You know.
Well, I guess also they do get to drop the guns they have and maybe buy up something a little bit better.
Yeah, he gets to drop the deagle to someone, and he keeps the MAC-10 for someone else. But like you mentioned, they're on force buys for the rest of the game, and they might not even use that MAC-10 in this round, it looks like.
I don't think many teams have a kind of thing if you're down 2 to 15, you know? What's our game plan when we're down 2 to 15, guys? What's the game plan? What do we do?
Start shooting.
Should we turn on our monitors again, or what?
So we get Vitality looking to focus really heavily on this B bomb side. They seem to want to finish Overpass on B with a 16-2 scoreline. However, Fates have got a very formidable defense set up on that B side. They're almost all presence to defense, and you can see that Vitality is just pressuring. They're just trying to draw out as much utility as possible. This kind of activity actually was missing from when we saw Fate playing on their T side. They weren't really pressuring to an extent that was like really forcing Vitality's utility out from from the sites as much as you'd like. Mar finding a timing through the door. It's good effort.
Yeah, we set up with a flash. That's a nice little team play between the two. Although, will it give Fate the advantage they need? Usually these kinds of situations favor the terrorists more so.
And also that push, maybe now Vitality are thinking, actually, we could go connector now.
Yeah, but with 30 seconds left, it looks like their ultimate goal will be this B site. Nice nose flash coming out from Zywoo. Another flash from him as well to support Shox' kill on the bomb site. And it's just Harn left in the 1v4.
Good luck, have fun. He's a kid, though.
He can ninja defuse it if they all leave the bomb site.
And 16-2.
All right.
Hey, let's
all right. So
you want to analyze this after the break?
yeah. So we'll come back for a little bit of a post game after. But Vitality take map 1 here in this series against Fate.